Hi everybody, this is Meg from AIM Fitness Online. Thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about your gut, about your digestion, and about the link from our gut to our brain. And I'm going to give you 3 great tips on how you can make your gut a little bit happier. So maybe this is you. Do you find that your digestion is really bad? Or maybe you struggle, with a lot of negative thoughts, or you've trouble sleeping, and you tend to eat out a lot. You have a lot of unhealthy food, but you're just not feeling 100%. There's just something off about your body and also off with your mind. So what we don't know too much about, except in the last few years we've learned so much more, is that there's a huge connection between our brain and our gut. And the connection is that we have neurotransmitters and we have hormones that are sending messages from our gut to our brain. So give me a thumbs up if you've heard about this, if you know a little bit that there is a connection. And often we hear the phrase, I just had this gut feeling. I had this gut feeling, I just knew. And that's actually not too far off because of that big connection between the brain and the gut. So what happens is when we have a healthy gut, we are able to think clearer, we have a better mental health as well, we have a more clear sense of being, and we just feel a lot better. But because we have day-to-day activities, we have busy lives, a lot of us are under a lot of stress, and what happens is that affects our well-being. So, and especially our gut. So for instance, if you think about the types of foods that you're eating most of the day, how many times are you eating something from a can or something that's processed, something from a jar, something that's not natural food? Well, if you're like me, it's probably pretty often because that's just our culture. We eat a lot of stuff from the shelves. And anytime we are eating something that is processed, it does have effects on our gut. And that's where why we need to really make sure we keep our gut in good health. So I'm going to give you a few examples of what you can do to improve your gut. So number 1 is eating more fermented foods. So you may have heard this term and maybe you've tried some, maybe you haven't, but one of those would be sauerkraut. And I know someone who actually just made a really great dish with sauerkraut and pork and apples, and it was really, really good. So there's really great ways that you can fit sauerkraut into your diet to have more fermented food, because that will give you a healthy bacteria in your gut, and that will help you to clear up any problems that you may have there. Another example is kimchi, and that's something else you can add along with your diet. Now, if you say, you know what, fermented foods are not really for me, I don't really know about that, then there is an alternative. Yay! So the alternative is you can start taking a probiotic. And I take a probiotic. I have noticed a huge difference in my gut health. Now, I'm lactose intolerant, and there's a few other foods that I'm very sensitive to, including some legumes and beans. And I found that since taking a probiotic, I'm able to digest a lot better. I don't get as bloated as I used to, and I just feel so much better. So the one that I have here, this is called the Optiflora probiotic, and I'll show you what it looks like. I love this one because it's super easy to swallow. It's a tiny little pearl. You'll see that, teeny tiny. Very easy to swallow. This brand is Shaklee. That's the brand that I represent, and I've been using for the past 4 years. And just taking one a day really helps my digestion and my gut health. And I have to be honest, since I've been taking them for the past probably about 3-4 years, I feel like I've been more mentally aware and more alert and more focused as well. So I have noticed the difference with my health, with my gut, and also my brain. And then the third thing you can do to improve your gut health is to relax. So often what happens is if we are busy, if we're stressed, if we have a lot of stressors in our life, it can really affect our gut health. And it can affect digestion, it can affect sleep, and it can affect so many other things. So I encourage you to take time for you to relax. So maybe that's spending time with your feet up, reading a book. Maybe that's time meditating and and I do encourage you to try meditating. Maybe it's playing some relaxing music and going for a walk. Or maybe if you have a little pet, it's petting your dog or your cat and just taking some deep breaths. So I know in today's world there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of things that are out of our control, and I know something that helps me is when I really focus on being in the present moment, focus on breathing, and just focus on what I'm grateful for, what I can control versus what I can't. All right, so I wanted to share those 3 tips for a healthy gut, and if you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're doing for your gut health. Are you relaxing? Are you taking a probiotic? Are you eating any fermented foods? Leave a comment below, and I'll also leave a link for the probiotics that I take in case you want to read more about it. And I also have an article that you can read where I got my information from today, so I'll leave that below. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.